So yeah, yet another deck profile. This one I've been crafting for a minute. What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Dante here, back in the Digimon Laboratory with yet another Digimon deck profile. This time is something that I've been testing with since EXO 2. And I always like the concept of Rasenmon or Rasenmon, however you want to pronounce it. So Rasenmon, there you go. I think that's more appropriate. Rasenmon. So I wanted to make it work. And I was just theory crafting, how in the world should I make this deck work? Well, I went ahead and threw in the Rasenmon line. And it works a lot better than I gave it credit for. Something that I am going to build and have as a secondary deck. I think it matches that energy of build a stat type of meta. And it has the ability to just win in one turn. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the card by card. First things first, I'll play 4 Bitsimons. Now, can you theoretically play another tamer, another egg in here? Yes. But Bitsimon gives you the best bang for your buck, and really everything else that you don't see or that you see outside of Bitsimon probably not going to do as much as you want it to do. So Bitsimon, if you don't know, on your turn, when you play an option card that's 2 costs or more, any option card, draw a card. There's a whole entire thing with the Rasenmon line that does this. So for Bitsimon, for Candlemon, you will see that I do have some purple Digimon up in here as well that I do want to play that gets the abilities. As you can see down there, Gadomon's one of them. So when I do play another purple Digimon, I gain a memory. And of course, I have a couple ways to do that as well. So for Candlemon, you can, the Candlemon line, or I should say Candlemon line, but the Candlemon ratio is a little wonky. I like 4, but I was even thinking about cutting it for maybe a few Gazimons, Psychmons, something like that. So you can easily cut this maybe down to 2 or 3 of, but I personally just like 4. For Rasenmon, yes, I only play 8 rookies if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I know I played 10 rookies. So if I'm not mistaken, I played 10 rookies. Yep, and you'll see the other rookie in a second. So Rasenmon on play is a searcher, top 4. Grab you any of his evolutionary line plus a Rika, put the rest of the bottom of the deck, you know, and then inheritable. When you play an option card with 2 costs or more, gain a memory. Doesn't matter what kind of option card, which makes this very, very good. 2 Pedomon, just for the blocker aspect of it. Sometimes you just need that blocker just in case you don't want to lose that turn. For Cubimon allows you to, on Digivolution, allows you to search at the top 3 for a plug-in and add to your hand, which is really good with the consistency of this deck. You do need a couple cards you do need to kind of set up your hand to really push in real big. So having one in stack and then build another stack on board is probably a better, more optimal way of doing things. But with this deck, you can do stuff like that. For Gatomon, we already know what the Gatomon do. If you don't know on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Get you a purple or yellow Digimon among them. Add to your hands to search for purple and or yellow Digimon. And then on your turn, when you Digivolve into an Archlord, Fallen Angel, Archlord or Fallen Angel Digimon, which you see here, I play 4 of them, that you reduce Digivolution cost by 2 with maximum 1 cost, which is very, very good, but with climbing. And then you have Jorgas at the end of it. I'll explain when I get to my level 6. This is why I didn't include something like a Mastermind in here. Level 5s, 2 Lady Devilmon, just a cycle. two Angelmon. I opted to play the Angelmon over something like the Magna Angelmon, because the Magna Angelmon you have to on play it to get the effect, to get the ability of it, and I don't care too much about the recovering the memory part of it. As long as I can stall my opponent's big Digimon that comes up, reduce it down by 2 checks to potentially actually give me a chance to actually basically survivability. And I kind of went the cheap route. Yes, I have the Magnet Angelmons. I just don't like how it feels really in my hand. Or, just like, oh yeah, I'm going to play it, recover 1. I'm okay with that. I can reduce something by -2 KDP. And guess what? You need +3 security just to check my security. That was my mindset of it. I know a lot of people are like, they don't really want to clamor too hard for Angelmons, Mana Angelmons, and I'm like, man, I made something that's a little bit more budget friendly. So that's what I went. That's why I went on. That's what I went on to do. 3 Talmons. I thought about playing 4, but then also thought that Talmon really is just that, like that Rika onto your hand for free, which is good, but you really don't need but 2 Rikas to stick on board to really pull off some crazy combos with this deck. Now for my level 6s, 3 Rasenmon Fury modes and 3 of the regular Rasenmons. So, reason why I didn't include a Mastermon in here was to make room actually for the Calamon. You can cut the Calamon. Calamon's one of those things to where if you don't see it turn 1 or turn 2, it's pretty much a dead card. I'm just being real with you. It's pretty much a dead card. You want to use his ability every time you Digivolve. You want to, suspend it, gain a memory, draw a card, and get something +3K DP. You can really hit those numbers that, I don't have to worry about really checking the security, and hoping not to die to a level 6 or something like that, or a bit level 6. So I did only play 1 of it because I recently had 1 Kalumon and 1 I think it was like a Gazimon up in here, just to throw some things up in here. But I was like, nah, I think I want to play 2 of them. And I was like, well, I'm at 51 cards, so I might as well cut the Mastermon. You can play the Mastermon in here. I do have 2 versions of this that it took away the Kalumon, and it played 1 Mastermon and 1 Mastermon and 1. No, it played 2 Mastermon, 1 Lucimon, and my ratios were way different. I think I only played 8. I took out the Pedomons. I think I messed with this ratio a little bit to bump up the Talmon by 1, lower the Angelmon by 1, just to fit in that package. And I didn't really like it because it clogged a little bit much. It didn't really flow because there's other things you want to get in your hand and gather in your hand. So you can play it that way if you want to. I like this version a little bit better. Triple Digivolution plugin S. If you know where I'm going with this, congratulations. You already graduated from the video. 4 Hell Sipes. Yes, 4. Max them out. Play 4. Why? Because it allows you to play the Angelmon for 6. It allows you to play the Gatomon out. Allows you to play all your 3s. It allows you to play the Q. So it allows you to cheat some Digimon out from the trash that you have to get rid of or got deleted. And you have an opportunity to delete one of your opponent's Digimon in the process of doing so. So 4 Hell Sipes, too good. Just too good. 2 Offensive Plugin A. Again, if you see when I'm going with this, you're the real one. So Offensive Plugin A just gives a Digimon +1 security. 2 Yellow Memory Boost. Now I play the Yellow Memory Boost because really the only 2 Digimons that don't grab is the the Rasenmon Fairy Mode, and the Lady Devilmon. But really, you only need one of the Fury Mode, and the Lady Devilmon isn't really even needed in order to search it out. So really, it hits a lot more targets than not. And that's why I play the yellow one over the purple memory boost. It has a lot more targets than not. 2 Codys because you always want to start your turn at least 2. A lot like people, I love Cody, especially in yellow decks. I think Cody is an absolute staple. Just being able to, even if you hatch, I mean, even if you raise out of raising, and at the start of your turn you gain the memory because of Cody, none of those memory blockers can even do anything with the Cody. And of course, 4 Rikas, because Rika is very vital to the concept. Now, for those of you who may be a little confused about what I'm trying to do here, it's a build a stat type of deck. You ideally want a couple of Rikas out with basically a Talmon out. And you know, just the combination in your hand. So how it runs is you want to attack with the Talmon. The Talmon will then trigger your Rika or Rikas. The more Rikas you have, the more netty it gets. So you trigger the Rika because Rika says when your Digimon with Renamon, Kiwimon, Talmon, Sukurimon in its name, when you attack with one of those Digimon, you may suspend its tamer, play 1 option card with plug-in in its name without paying its memory cost. So you're going to attack with the Talmon. And say you attack with 2. Let's say you attack with Talmon with 2 Rikas. You can suspend both Rikas. It's not once per turn. You can spend both Rikas both for your turn. There you go. You then activate the plugins. So it really doesn't matter how you really do this. Because you go here, suspend, play, and then you get to resolve it because it's in the same tree. It's in the same window. So you ideally want to play a plugin A and then a plugin S. So what plugin S does is draw a card, then digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand that can digivolve for a Digivolution cost of 3 or less without paying its Digivolution cost. So you go ahead, you play the plugin for free, digivolve the Talmon into the Rasenmon Fury Mode. Because you can digivolve on top of a yellow also for 3 costs. So it makes it free off of the Rika. So when you do that, you draw a card first. So you can draw a card, draw into this bad boy, and then just digivolve on top of it. I've had it done many times to where it just saves me. It happens. And then once you digivolve into this, you can then apply the offensive plugin A to the Fury Mode, giving it 13k plus 1 security. And not to mention, if you have a Renamon underneath it, you then gain a memory. Not to mention, you still have Talmon underneath it, something minus 2k, Cubimon, something minus 2k, just that kind of stuff. Vitsimon, you're going to always have a Vitsimon, so therefore you draw an additional card. So it constantly replenishes your hand just by doing this combo. So with this combo, you get rid of 2 cards in your hand. You digivolve, you draw a card for this, you're 1 for 1, you're +1 with the Vitsimon, so you constantly dig into your deck as you do this combo. Now, when Fury Mode attacks, it says end of attack, you may digivolve into a Rasenmon in your hand, ignoring the Digivolution requirement and without paying a Digivolution cost, which means you digivolve again into the Rasenmon for free, right on top of the Fury Mode. And then on top of that, you draw for that. So really, you +2. You played 2 cards from your hand. You drew 4 cards off of this. You attack +1 security. And now guess what? The Rasenmon here is now +1 security itself. If you don't know what this card does, it says once per turn, main, Digiburst up to 4, trash up to 4 cards from Digivolution sources, and then is like a watered down version of Shine Greymon. So instead of 4K for as many times as instead of 4K for as many times as you suspend with the on Digivolution effect, this one is you Digiburst up to 4 and you apply minus 3K to any Digimon up to as many times as many cards you Digiburst. So with this combo, you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards underneath it. So you can theoretically Digiburst 4 and have a source underneath it just in case you come across these stun type of decks. It's like, oh, you can't attack if you don't have any sources. This gets around that. So then you really want to Digiburst the Fury Mode way, because what it does is it unsuspends the Rasenmon and gets a 3K DP, making it 14K. So now you Digiburst that, you pretty much pop or delete Digimons across the board. 1 Digimon, 2 Digimon, 3, whatever. Because really you got 12,000 DP reduction to play around with. You can take out about 2 Digimon easily, or 1 bit Digimon. Simple as that. And then you unsuspend it as well, which means you get to attack yet again with 14K plus 1 security on this Digimon. So just one stack really pushed through 4 security checks. So this is not that bad of an idea to even think about whatsoever. And if you want to, you can play a couple of level 7s up in here if you want to throw level 7s up. Like I said, like the Kalumon, like I thought about it, it's highly cuttable, but I liked it. I liked it when I had it. I didn't care when I didn't have it. It's highly cuttable. You can cut it for a lot of things. This deck does have offensive presence, like super hyper offensive presence when it comes to like just building a stack. You can build like I said, you can build a stack in the back and stack in the front, because really you want to put your tamers on board. The more Rikas you have out, the better, because it makes all your plugins free and it makes your combo so much more worth it. So if your opponent, plays right and they're like, oh, I'm just putting him to 3. Okay, you're gonna go 3 with Rika? Sure, you can have 3. So Digivolve Cubemon into Talmon. Now what you gonna do? Guess what? The attacking and using both the Rikas and the plugins and going to the Fury Mode, going to the Rasenmon, and checking for 4 security with just really 2 attacks. And that's not to include if you may want to play the Mastermon. You may have one or 2 other Digimon out. Like, you can push potentially for a game in this deck relatively fast. It may not have as much consistency as like War Greymon or Metagaromon X or anything like that. But it's a deck that I've been theory crafting on, and I really do like it. Of course, I'm going to work with the ratios a little more still. Some days I'm like, oh, let's throw in a Mastermind. Some days I'm like, nah, I don't need the Mastermind. But just a little something for you to think about. I do really, really, really do like this deck idea. I do like the deck style of it. It matches the format now. Maybe you can, win a local too with it. Like, I don't know if it's top tier. I haven't tested it in a tournament just yet. Something I have been theory crafting about. I already built it. I have it to the side. Probably go ahead and play it in my locals this weekend. And yeah, like, it's just something I wanted to go ahead and just throw out there. Give some fresh blood out there. Everybody wants these meta decks. I'm more of a rogue player, so here you go. Present you with a little bit of a carrot to say. Well, without further ado, I'm done for this deck profile video. I'm gonna have a few more coming up on the channel, so you're gonna be seeing deck profiles coming out left and right. But yes, go ahead and stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and bring more content to the channel. Hold on, I'm putting up like 2-3 videos a week now. That's my goal. I'm gonna keep on pumping them out. If you like it, go ahead and share this. Go ahead and build it yourself. Like I said, I went the cheap route. Go ahead and build this yourself. You can get all the commons, uncommons, SRs. Actually, I think the only SR up in here is Rasenmon. I think it's the only SR up in here. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's like Rasenmon's the only SR up in here. Rika, I want to say Rika is a rare. I want to say Rika's a rare. So I'm gonna go ahead and double check that. But yeah, that is one of the things to where like I do think about the budget players and how Rika's a rare. So the only SR is the Rasenmon. That's the only SR here. So you can build this deck for maybe, I think Hellscythe is the most expensive card in this deck at maybe $7 because you can even like $5 or $6 because you can even get the yellow memory boost for cheap because they came out with the structured decks, the Gallantmon and All Force Vidramon. So you can get this entire deck for, I say maybe $20. There you go. Something fun to play around with. You can play with the plug-in ratios. I really like the 3-2 because you really only need that one bit swing to really change the momentum in the game. Of course, you might swing once or twice before you get your stack going to ensure that, but like it's one of those things to where you can do some bit damage, big bit damage. And yeah, let me know if you would change anything in the comment section below. I'm always up to constructive criticism when it comes to rogue decks. I like rogue. I will always be a rogue player. That's just how I roll. Well, I'm going to get up out of here. This has been your boy Dante, and this has been yet another deck profile. I will see you in the next video. Peace!